can hear is obviously the one you should recognise, called L.O.V.E, made famous by Nat King Cole, and it's all been played via a lead sheet. Now a lead sheet is basically, I'll show you, okie dokie, like so. Now what you should notice is there's only one note to play, okay, and there's no bass line, alright, and there's basically a chord symbol for the bars, okay. So this video is learning how to use lead sheets, and in particular focus on the song Love, alright. So I'll see you in L.O.V.E Overdue. See you in a minute. So we've got one note, which is your melody line. It's always your melody, okay, or a little intricate part that will go with the melody, but usually your melody. And you'll get a chord symbol. So straight away you need to have a good concept of chords. If you don't know what chords are, or you're not sure what chords are, how to make them, check that video out there. It's got you sorted. So when I look at a lead sheet, which I do a lot of, we're playing at weddings and corporate events, you've got one note. Now on it sounds pretty drab. It's a melody, isn't it? It's a beautiful melody, but it's not going to get the people dancing or singing along. And I'm not really going to get booked by if I just play one note, am I? You know. So what we've got to try and do is take this and pop it with some nice harmony. Okay, so harmony this time is various chords. Okay, now if I play the chord listed there, it's a G6. So a G6 basically is a G chord with your 6th note added, which is going to be an E on this case. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's the simplest way to find what note to play. Okay, right, so the E is the added 6th. Okay, now obviously I can't play the chord up here because my melody line is going to run down into it and it's not going to be able to play it. So we need to go down, lower down. Now then, when you come to play chords, you've got to really be careful of what to add and what to also leave out. What would you generally use? Probably the bass, okay, which is a good start. So a G bass maybe down there, okay, and a 6 is an E. So maybe I would put something like an E in the bass line there with it, okay? And then in the melody line, I would add the 3rd of the G chord, which is going to be 1, 2, 3, or major 3rd, okay? And I would get this kind of sound. Okay, we've got the root, the 6th, we've got the 3rd, okay? Root, 6th, 3rd, all right? We don't really need a 5th, to be honest. It's not really going to do much for us. We could put it in if we wanted to. Okay, bit of more richer, but not essential. So let's look at the bare basics you need, okay? Because there's enough going on, isn't there? Okay, so I'm going to go G6 for 3 beats, and I'm going to put an F sharp in, okay? And then I'm going to go F sharp, E. Oh, listen to that, beautiful. Okay, and the second chord of this, G major 7, another major 7 chord, okay? So you could go G6 on your left hand and then add the F sharp or change it to F sharp. Okay, nice G6 open spread, okay. And then I'm going to put the F sharp. Okay, nice harmony. Now the next chord is an A minus 7, so an A minus 7 basically. Now what do we need for the A minus 7? Well, obviously I've just got a G on the right hand, so that's the melody, and that's not going to tell us anything. Apart from the actual G now, is the second chord being A minor, so diatonic. You don't know what diatonic is? Got a video on that as well. Hey, let's put it in a link below. Below, above, you know. You get what I mean. So, A minor 7. Okay, so we're going to go A bass. I am tempted now to go for the 7th of the A, which is going to be a G, isn't it? Okay. And then I will play the minor 3rd in the right hand again. Okay. Again, that nice movement, and very subtle. And the melody obviously is the G. Okay. So all together. Lovely. And it resolves down to F sharp. Okay, so first 3 bars, here we go. 2. Got a drummer today. He's woke up. Come on, pal. Oh, it's a bit fast, that. Whoa, we're going for smooth jazz, not crazy jazz. Here we go. And a 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So what we've got so far is a G6, a G major 7, an A minor 7, and a D7. Okay, absolute classic 2-5-1 sort of jazz sound. Okay, so let's go with the G6. Don't get your 6s on the E, and we're going to major 7 now. A little chromatic. Okay, and an A minor 7. So I'm going to put the A, G, minor 3rd there. Melody on top is G. Resolved down to the F sharp. Okay, there's no 7th there, so we're going to put something in. So we need the 7th, so we're going to put it in there. Okay. Okay, I much prefer to go lower down, to be fair, with this type of thing. Alright, you could put the C in there and double it up. Alright, and then stay on D7. Okay, simply you could just go. So you could take the 7th off the right hand there, put it in the bass line, we'll keep it in the bass line. Okay, that's interesting there because we've got a C sharp and a melody, even though it's a D7 chord. So we've got a bit of a clash there, haven't we? Like just a relative clash. Flat 9 type of thing. Okay, again, very common in jazz. And then G minor 7. This time I've just changed it up a little bit. I put G, D, which is 5, 1, 5, and 7 there. Okay, that looks just a little slide. Kind of from the first G major 7 bar. I imitated that a little bit. Okay, so it goes G and it goes G6. So again, what would you do? Melody is on an F sharp. Don't go any higher than your melody. Okay. Then it goes up to a B with a G7 chord. So how do we build a G7 chord? We've got a B there, which is your melody note. We'll put the 7th in on the F there. What would we do on the left hand? Maybe double up the F. Okay. That's quite nice. Keep it, don't have it too close all the time. Okay. Okay, you've got to keep on G7. Then it goes to a C major 7. Occasionally, you could do a 1-5. Okay, perfectly fine. Okay, we've got the melodies on top. Okay, we've got a major 3rd on the C, making it a major chords, and we've got the melody coming down from the B, so it's a major 7th chord. That's your 7th. Look, beautiful, nice. Basically, we've got 2/5 there. Look, but it sounds so open and smooth, doesn't it? Okay, almost like an E minor on the right hand. Not quite. Don't start saying it's not an E minor, Paul. I know it's not. It's kind of similar without the bass line, isn't it? Now this is a really, really nice thing. We're going to a dominant A7, okay? So, kind of key changing in the fashion. We're kind of going to, because normally we wouldn't have a C sharp in G major, as we've discussed earlier. But we're going to have an A7 chord, so it's an A7, which is basically an A chord with a 7th. There you go. Okay, but the melody line is actually a B, so technically it could be an A9 as well. And I'm going to play it as an A9 like this. Look, we've got the root. Okay, got the 7th there. Okay, then we've got a major 3rd there, and then the top here. Okay, that's 9. It's quite a statement chord. It's like I'm here. Okay. So after that lovely A7 or A9 chord, root 7, 3, we're going to go for, there we go, F sharp, and then D9 sus4. Okay, D9. Let's just clear something up. If you're above the octave, it kind of goes into the 9, 10, 11 sort of jazz harmony idea. Okay, so we're going to go for a D on the bass. I'm going to go for the 7th, okay? Without the 7th, it's a +2, so you've got to have your 7th. So D, C, probably F sharp, because it's not going to be sus4, okay? Because a sus4 chord will be D, G, and A, okay? So kind of can't put that F sharp in yet, okay? Oh, I've got it now. They've got a B, A, G, and G is your sus4 and your D7 chord, D9 chord. Okay, so there we go. That's where you get sus4 from. Your D9 is up. Oh, I've got my 9th. There we go. Oh, that richness. Okay. It resolves onto a D7 chord, a dominant 7th. You could keep it there, okay. I would probably go down a little bit and do a shape like this. Okay. Got D on the bottom end, got the 7th there, okay. I'm kind of putting the 5th in actually, because it's not normal for me to do that. But it works, there's enough space there, look. And you've got a nice 6th interval. Again, 6s in jazz, really nice. Okay, and then it goes back into the melody. And just fill it out. A bit chromatic. Okay, little 6 intervals. On the second down bar, there's a C major 7. Now, how do we do that? We go a C in the bass and a 7th there. Okay, put the 3rd in. Beautiful. Where the melody line is on top. Okay, that's nice. That's your 6. And then there's an interesting chord. Now, some would potentially say it's an A7 with a C sharp bass. There's a C sharp diminished. So C sharp diminished with a 7th is like an A7 without your A. Do you know what I mean? It's easy. I sometimes think it's easy to look at it like that. Okay, there you go. So we're going to put the 7th in. Okay, so what's your 7th of C sharp? It's going to be a... There we go, yeah. Okay. That'd be major 7, but it sounds awful. Okay, yeah. I want to think now. Okay. Back to a... Okay, so I'm going to go something like... I think a melody is... Ooh, that's a harsh sound. And we're going to go G6 and D7. Probably quite dominant now. And then just put in your 2-5-1. And then you end up with something like this. A 1, a 2, 3. Rivets. There's so many ways to mess about with lead sheets, okay? And what I just played just there was kind of similar, a little bit different to what we've just gone through. So that's the essence of lead sheets. It's all about kind of creating your sound within the actual melody. And as long as you play the melody, you can kind of do what you want, really. If it sounds good to you, it probably will be good for them. There's lots of other technique you can use. You can use a trill, okay, little pulls, arpeggio fly throughs, I call them anyway. So that's about it for today. It's a nice little short one, just about how to bring out your chords within your lead sheets, okay? If you want to download the lead sheet and play with it, that's absolutely fabulous. I really want you to do with that, okay? And I will see you in a rinky dinky next time.